Hello everyone, welcome to Power Electronics Tutorials. In this video, we are going to briefly discuss the control characteristics of some of the commonly used power devices. Before that, let us understand what is control characteristics. We know that power semiconductor devices are commonly employed as switches. These switching devices can be selected depending upon the power requirement, rating, fastness as well as the control of output power. The required output is obtained by varying the conduction time of these switching devices, which is the control voltage supplied to the control terminals of these devices. Since the control terminal plays a very important role in the biasing of these devices, these characteristics are also called as control characteristics, and in this session I will illustrate the control characteristics for these semiconductor devices listed here. I'll start with a thyristor, and this is what actually the control characteristics for a thyristor would look like. A thyristor, as we know, is a controlled turn on but uncontrolled turn off device. This means that a thyristor requires a control voltage, which is usually the gate voltage, only during turn on but does not respond to any gate voltage after it has latched to the on state. Due to this behavior, it is also called as a latching device. The figure here shows a simple circuit where the thyristor is connected in series with a resistive load. The input is a DC source with a value of Vs. When the gate voltage is applied to the gate to cathode terminals in terms of pulses as what is shown in the diagram here, the thyristor will turn on and latches to the on state at the very instant of the very first positive gate pulse given. Every other gate pulse that comes after the gate pulse that turned on the transistor have absolutely no impact on the overall working of the thyristor, and hence we say that the gate has no control over the thyristor once it is turned on. It should be noted that even a negative voltage gate pulse will not change the conduction state of the thyristor when it is in the latched state. Special techniques called as commutation techniques need to be employed to turn off a thyristor under such circumstances, and we will discuss this in one of our next videos when we start the commutation chapter. As of now, just remember that the thyristor requires a pulsed gate voltage to turn on, and the very first pulsed gate voltage wherever it is applied is the instant at which the thyristor will turn on and an output voltage will appear. Before that, for example, if I start with a negative gate pulse and after some time I give a positive gate pulse, then the thyristor will turn on only when the first positive gate pulse is given, and from the duration of 0 till that first positive gate pulse, the output voltage will be 0. Right, that is about the thyristor control characteristics. Now, in one of my previous videos, I have discussed the different types of silicon control rectifiers available, and there I have specified that we currently have different versions of thyristors which can be controlled during the turn off process as well. An example illustration for such a device is given in the control characteristics diagrams here. Please note the same characteristics are applicable for GTO, which is gate turn off thyristor, SITH, which stands for static induction thyristor, and lastly MCT, which stands for MOS controlled thyristor. All of them have the same control characteristics, and that is why we have shown all of them in one single diagram here. As I said, a GTO can be turned off using a gate pulse as well, unlikely the SCR we have discussed in our previous topic. So, a GTO will require a positive gate pulse to turn on, and as you can see, the moment a positive gate pulse is given, the output voltage starts to appear. Also, the same thyristor can be turned off by providing a negative gate pulse. You can see the application of negative gate pulse makes the output 0, which simply means that the GTO has turned off. So, a GTO, SITH and MCT can be called as controlled turn on and controlled turn off devices. With that, now let us move on to the control characteristics of bijunctional transistor. We know that a BJT is a control turn on and control turn off device, and the base terminal here acts as the control terminal. So, the BJT will both turn on as well as turn off as per the base voltage applies to the device. In the circuit diagram we have shown here, we have given a positive voltage across the collector to emitter, and the positive base voltage with respect to the emitter will turn on the transistor completely, and an output can be seen across the resistor. This is what is shown here. From the waveforms that are shown here, you have to understand that a BJT, unlike a GTO or a thyristor, requires continuous voltage across its control terminal to sustain in the on state. The moment the control voltage is removed, the BJT will turn off. Therefore, we say it as a control turn on and control turn off device. Lastly, we now discuss the control characteristics of MOSFET or IGBT. Now, since the control terminals for both MOSFET and IGBT are the gate terminals, we have once again embedded both of them in single diagram. You should note both IGBT and MOSFET are control turn on as well as control turn off devices, which is pretty similar to a BJT. In a very similar fashion to a BJT, both IGBT as well as MOSFET also require continuous voltages at their control terminals, which is the gate terminal, to maintain the device in the on state. An N-channel enhancement type MOSFET is considered for analysis here, and this is a standard representation for an IGBT. The control characteristics are shown as here, and as long as a gate voltage is applied across the gate terminal, the output voltage will be positive, and the moment you remove the gate voltage, output becomes 0. This is pretty similar to what a BJT dictates, except that now the control terminal is a gate terminal. Right, so that is about a very brief discussion on the control characteristics of some of the most prominently used power semiconductor devices. That's it about this video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.